Deathsinger, you're going to want to have Sleeper Simulant. Bones of AO are useful, but they're not required. A good high impact sniper, a solar one if you have it, but I prefer Steel Piercer. If you're a hunter, run max invis on your Blade Dancer. And high recovery is what I recommend, although high armor works as well. If you have fusion rifle ammo, boots or chest piece, use those. It bumps up the ammo. I don't. 9 bolts in your Sleeper Simulant is still sufficient, but more is definitely helpful. Sleeper Simulant is required for the way I do it, because you can kill the Shriekers before you kill the wizards, since you can kill them while they're still closed. And what that allows you to do is just have a lot more safer approach to this section of the raid, so that you can take out the wizards from a safer distance and not be closed in that room trying to kill the Shrieker while all the ads are on you. When you kill the Shrieker, you're going to want to run to where Crota spawns on this platform here, where me and Gravity Death 1 are at, so that, as that's where the Shrieker Death Blasts stop chasing you, and they'll just detonate in the air. Now, since Gravity Death 1 killed the Shriekers on his side, and Wizard, we can run in and take out the Deathsinger with Sleeper Simulant, which 2 shots it, which is a very, very helpful added benefit of the Sleeper Simulant in this section of the raid. Now, since the boss is dead, you don't have to worry about time limits, so you can just continue and just clear all the ads, slowly but surely whittling them down. When you get the checkpoint for Crota, and I believe I'll show this in the video, when you get the checkpoint for Crota, you can just kill yourself and all the rest of the ads will disappear. But you need to kill, in order to get the checkpoint, you need to kill all the inside knights and the outside knights. Don't worry too much about the acolytes that spawn. I killed them just because they're a nuisance trying to kill the ads on the inside, but they're not necessary. And because this is just not fun to watch, I'm going to skip this for you guys, and I'll cut back in when we get the checkpoint. Now that we're on Crota, what you want to do is equip the Raise Lighter Sword if you're a hunter, a weapon to clear ads quickly with, and a way to regenerate health without using the Chalice. For Warlocks, you can use the Ram and a Voidwalker for all melees. Titans, you can use Transfusion on your Striker Titan, or Cauterize on your Sunbreaker. And for Hunters, what I use is Kefri's Sting on your Blade Dancer to allow you to have the Crouching Invis perk, Stalker, and Hungry Blade for the health regen at the same time, which is vital for the way that I do Crota's End, at least for the Crota fight. Now what you want to do is clear the ads as fast as you can. Make sure the knights don't hit you, because they'll do a ton of damage, especially if you're not the sword bearer. You're gonna want to have the sword bearer hold the chalice most, if not all, of the time, because he's gonna be the one needing it. He'll be under fire from the boomers when he's attacking Crota. Now the way I do it for downing Crota is I basically do it by myself. What you do is you crouch on the rocks, which I'll show, to turn invis, and then you Raise Lighter him while you're invis with the uppercut. Make sure you have the Warrior of Light perk active so your uppercut does more damage, otherwise it won't work. And then what you do is you just get 2 slams on him, use the Escape Artist on your melee, and get 2 more slams when you down him the second time. Works really, really well, especially for soloing the raid. Real quick, if you're a Titan and you want to down him by yourself, the only way that I can think of you doing it is to chuck enough hammers at him and have the Firekeeper, no, I'm sorry, not the Firekeeper, the Scorched Earth perk active, so your hammers unleash sunspots. That way you have time to get up to him after you've chucked the hammers. Because you can only do the sword method if you can go invis, and that's not possible without being a hunter. So after you've downed Crota a couple times, you don't want the sword timer to run out while you're up there. So after you've downed him twice, don't try for 3 downs. Just run back to the crystal room, take out the boomers, and wait for him to move back to the middle. Now what I do during this time is make sure your subclass is set up right, make sure you're at full health before you go to fight Crota again, make sure all the boomer knights and bridge knights that jump down are dead, because you don't want them attacking you while you're downing Crota for the second time. Now this is easily done with 2 swords. If you can get 3 slams in on both, it works, but I recommend 2 slams and using 3 swords. You have to kill the ogres, but it's really not a big deal. And it doesn't affect much other than lengthening the fight slightly. So it's really not a big deal. That's what I do normally. Now, if you have a second person with you, they need to have, and I recommend you have, a high impact sniper, such as Still Piercer, 1000-yard stare, and things of that nature, with the higher impact, lower rate of fire, but not quite Black Spindle tier. That way you can one-shot them with the Boomer Knights, and put good hurt on the ogres if you're using that. Now, we're just downing Crota the second time. When you go to find the Sword Bearer for the second time, since he'll have already spawned, you're going to want to go invis so the thralls don't attack you while you're trying to find him. So I tried to get 3 slams in, and I knew I wouldn't have time to use the Escape Artist perk, so I just retreated. And I tried to go back here, but it does not work. I don't have enough time on the sword. That's why you only try to get 2 slams in. So since the sword timer ran out, I just go to where the ogres are going to spawn. That way I can kill the one before he has a chance to attack and get up to the middle room. Raise Later almost kills the ogre in 1 hit. It requires 2 swipes, 2 normal right bumper or R1 swipes with the sword after you uppercut him. And it's fairly simple. For the second ogre, I'd do the same thing. I just use cover to get close to them and raise later, and I'll show you that here in a minute. But what you want to do, just kill the ogre as fast as possible. That way you can get back to the Crota fight quickly, and not make the raid any longer than it truly has to be. Because nobody wants to sit here for an hour trying to kill ogres. So now that the ogres are dead, just retreat back to a safe zone, the crystal room, or a side that's opposite Crota. Kill anything that's chasing you, like these thralls, and don't hit yourself with a grenade like I did, because that just wastes health, unless you have the chalice on you. Now here, when you're hiding in the crystal room, is where if your second person needs it, you should trade the chalice, so you have time to each person to regen health. But since Gravity Death 1 was full on health due to his lifesteal abilities, we didn't need to do that, so we're just gearing up and getting ready for the next Crota down. So now all we need to do is find the Sword Bearer and down Crota for the 3rd and final time. Here he is, raise later, pick up the relic, should be routine by now, and invis, get up there. This method takes a little bit of getting used to, especially if you're used to using different weapons to down him, but once you get the hang of it, it's really quite easy and fairly simple to do. And there goes Crota, and we got Black Hammer. So this can be soloed, but I recommend having a second person. Huge shout out to Gravity Death 1 for helping me through this and making it quick and painless, and being my second person through this raid. After you've killed Crota, just enjoy your rewards, and hopefully get the Flawless Raider achievement if you've been going for it. Now, if you're a Sunsinger Warlock, how you can down Crota is equip Radiant Will on your Sunsinger, Radiant Will, with fusion grenades, and you're going to want to use Touch of Flame. That way they ignite him, and it does that little bit of extra damage, and you rapidly chuck 4 grenades, and then run up to him with a sword. He should be kneeling down just as you get up there. And that's how you down him with a Warlock. Thank you all for watching very much. Hope to see you guys beat Crota's End and get the Flawless Raider, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.